everybody, and welcome back into Scotiabank Arena for some more Toronto Maple Leafs hockey action. The Maple Leafs taking on the Montreal Canadiens for the second of 4 times this season. They took the first meeting back in Montreal 4-1, handing the Habs their first loss in the season. And since the Habs have won again and lost again, a win and an overtime loss as it's sent back into the Montreal zone, and we're officially underway. Here's Cole Caulfield. He'll pick it up for Montreal, 5-1-1 on the season. Toronto 3-2. Here's Matthews. He'll look ahead for Nylander. The pass found him, but it got past his reach and down the ice. Lucky for Toronto, no icing. Here's Caulfield. Centers it off for Matheson to the middle of the ice. Here come the Canadiens. In over the Toronto line. Pass to Slavkovsky. Stopped in the rebound. Knocked out as well. A good chance early for the Canadiens. Gooley knocked along the boards, but here's another shot, and that finds the glove of Joseph Woll. 3 shots early for the Canadiens out of the gates, and that pass turned over through the middle of the ice. And that gets over the head of Riley and right back into the Toronto zone. 5 gone in the scoreless first period. And the pass turned over. Suzuki. Here he comes. He's stopped by Woll. Rebound in the paint. Caulfield. And he couldn't jam that by Woll. Plays it behind the net. Leafs need to get it out. Pass finds Tavares. And finally, here comes Toronto. Tavares offside. Almost halfway to the first. It's been all Canadians so far. It's the Leafs and the Canadiens, as we mentioned, in their second of 4 meetings this year. Here's a turnover to Calle Jarnkrok. He was taken down on the hit, picked up by Savard. Domi kept it in. Savard grabs that back for the Canadiens. He'll look up the left side. Sends it up on the wing for Armia. Yoel Armia winds and shoots. He's stopped by Woll. Shot 6-0 Canadiens so far in this one. Sent into the Montreal zone. Here's Max Domi going to the net. He's stopped. First Maple Leaf shot of the night, as Newhook gets that out to center. He'll spin off the forecheck of the Leafs. Nice. Takes it back for Toronto. Sent ahead on the wing for Scotty Laughton. Laughton steps in and shoots. He's stopped. And it's kicked out and played up for Waugh. Here come the Canadiens in over the Toronto line. Winding for the shot. Spinning and now taking it. A good move by Waugh. It's stopped by Woll. Here's Nice. Goes back to get it, pokes it back to his teammate, but it was given away to Waugh, and he'll chip back into the Toronto zone one more time. Ekman-Larsson sent back ahead, and that goes down the ice. Icing against Toronto. 5:52 to go in the first. No score from Scotiabank Arena in this afternoon game between the Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. Here's the draw left side. Taken back, Canadiens trying to get control. It's Ekman-Larsson who does that for Toronto. He'll send it right back into the Montreal end. Picked up by Nick Waugh. Here's Waugh to the net. Backhand off the post. What a move, but he couldn't beat iron. Another chance stopped by Montembeault. Played that down in front. It rolled back to Montembeault, and now Gooley sent ahead to Gallagher. Nicholas Waugh almost had his goal of the season. As he turned that over, Evans now to Anderson. In over the line come the Canadiens. Here's Anderson. Right to the net, drops for Matheson, moves in and shoots. He's stopped by Woll. It's in the blue paint and knocked out of harm's way. Lorentz to Nick Robertson. He can fly, steps in, he'll shoot. He's stopped and it slides wide. Last minute of play in the first. Ekman-Larsson back to Tanev, winds and fires. That's blocked. Rebound in the paint. They look around for it. It's the Canadiens who get it out of the scrum. Matheson to Anderson. 3 seconds to go in the period. Shooting it right on. That's kicked out. The rebound. Right back to Joseph Woll. We're through 20 minutes tonight. It's scoreless from Scotiabank Arena between the Leafs and the Canadiens. Shots a goal in the game are 10-5 Montreal after 1. No score. The hits are 3-1 Canadiens. Faceoffs 2-1 Toronto. No power plays. Scoreless. Second coming up. Welcome into period 2 here tonight from Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs trying to hand the Canadiens their second straight loss in meeting Toronto this year. But no score after 1. It's anyone's game. Here's Suzuki. Steps in. Dropped. Shot. Stopped. On the chance by Caden Gooley. Here goes Matthews for Toronto. Austin Matthews with Michelli. The shot by Matthews fought off. Michelli looks to center it. He does. Back to the point. Riley kept it in. Carlo can't. It comes back out. Sent back to Matthews. In over the Montreal line, stepping his way to the net. He has Nylander, fed it in front. Good chance by Michelli, a better save made by Montembeault. Here comes Matheson down the right side, in over the Toronto line. Matheson going to the net, he's stopped by Woll. Bouncer in the paint. Habs have it again, and now Carlo back ahead for Michelli. Off to Matthews. Austin Matthews winds. Can't get the shot away, though, and Matheson takes it the other way for Montreal. Cole Caulfield to the net. He's stopped by Joseph Wall. Way down to Carlo. Sent ahead for Calle Jarnkrok. Here's Jarnkrok winding and firing. That right on. It's stopped by Montembeault. Tavares in behind the net trying to pick it up. Gooley sent ahead to Caulfield. Turned over at the Montreal line, but taken right back and now into the Montreal zone. Matheson is to it first. Matheson fed ahead to Slavkovsky. Back down into the Toronto end, and now Tanev at center took it, and now Caulfield back in one more time. From behind the net, looks out front for help. He has Xhekaj centered it. He gave that away to Tanev. Here's Tavares for Toronto, halfway, no score. Tavares on the backhand, he fed that to the net, it stopped. Rebound on the backhand, that was Jarnkrok trying to jam it. Has another chance as he fed it out front, but no one was there. Penalty coming to Toronto. Savard steps in, he'll go right to the net. He fired that wide, and the Leafs touch up. It'll be a Montreal power play in a scoreless game. 8:08 to go here in the second. So Calle Jarnkrok heads off. 2 minutes for interference. And the Canadiens to the first power play of the game. Here's the face-off left side of the net. Taken back one by the Canadiens. Here's Ylonen. Centers Xhekaj. Stopped, and what a save on the rebound by Wall. Wide open net, and the Leafs can't get it out. Kept in Xhekaj. Here's another. Stopped by Wall. Xhekaj in front. Gallagher. That doesn't go. And Morgan Rielly clears for Toronto. Almost found Wadden now, the pass ahead. He did attempt to get it back to him. It was given away to Wall. Here he comes inside. 2-on-1. Another save by Wall. Leafs hemmed in their end here on this penalty kill. Ylonen to the front. It's Wall. Another save made by Wall. Down low, the pass finds Anderson. Centers it to Ylonen, and a glove save by Wall. Leafs have it. They will clear. Given away. Wall kicked out again. Leafs have been sloppy on the penalty kill. Here's a turnover, and Wadden finally gets it out for Toronto as it's banked back into the Montreal zone. 5 seconds to go on the power play. That'll do it. Habs 0 for 1, but man, did they have chances. Here's Ylonen. In over the Toronto line. He'll go to the net. Stopped by Wall, and in a snow angel, he'll lay back on it and cover up for Toronto. 5:10 remaining, middle period. No score. It's the Leafs and the Canadiens from Scotiabank Arena. So the face-off will come here to the right side of the net. The shots were 10-5 in the first for Montreal. They're 11-5 here in the second. Draw one back, picked up by Xhekaj. Sent to the front. He stopped, and the rebound. Oh, that came close. It just slid wide. Habs have it again. Waugh to the net. Blocked. Tavares to Tanev, and the Leafs get it out. Here's Jarnkrok right back into the Montreal zone again. Sent around his Domi. Feeds it back to Ekman Larson. His shot ricocheted off a body and wide. It's picked up by Armia. Here's Joel Armia in over the Toronto line. 2-on-1 again. Good job by the Leafs stopping him. And Wall did the rest. Time running out in the second. There's a pass. They score. It's going to be Josh Waugh who gets the goal. And it's the Canadiens who strike first here tonight. They've been all over the Leafs, and they finally get rewarded an open seam pass. And Wall sprawled out, but can't get the glove up and make the stop. Canadiens on the board first, 1-0. Shots in the game are 23-10 for the Canadiens. The Leafs haven't done much here tonight. Here's the face-off. One back by Montreal, but controlled by Cole Caulfield. Here's Caulfield stepping in, centers it. Big save made by Wall, as going right to the net, uninterrupted. Here goes Nylander. He'll step in. Nylander shoots. Easy save made by Montembeault. Leafs can't keep it in. That'll end the second here tonight from Scotiabank Arena. Canadiens 1, Leafs nothing after 2. Shots a goal in the hockey game, 24-11 for the Canadiens. They lead 1-0 after 2. The hits are 8-3 Montreal. Faceoffs 5-2 Canadiens. 0 for 1 on the power play. Toronto has an ad one. 1-0 Montreal after 2. Welcome into period 3 tonight from Scotiabank Arena. The Maple Leafs haven't had much to show. They have nothing through 40. Canadiens with the only goal. Draw one by Matthews, sent ahead to Nylander. He'll feed it back into the Montreal zone. Here's Michelli, fed it in front. That was Nylander, and he couldn't tap it by. Slavkovsky. Here's Suzuki. Leafs do a good job keeping it in, but now it comes out. Nylander to Brandon Carlo. He'll step into the rush, put it to the net. It's stopped. It bounced away from Nylander. Tries to get it back. It's picked up by Morgan Rielly. Rielly off to Nylander. Nylander in front. Rielly shot that wide. Another pass came in the paint, and the Leafs can't clean it up. Matthews with it again. Feeds it over the vision of Austin Matthews, but a good block yet again by the Canadiens. Nylander fed off the boards in for Tavares. He is offside. Just about 5 gone here in the third period. Maple Leafs and Canadiens, it's 1-0 Montreal. Here's the drop. Picked up, taken back by Carlo. Sent ahead for Järnkrok. Steps in, but can't get the shot. Canadiens have been a defensive masterclass here this afternoon. Here's Cole Caulfield. Järnkrok trying to take that back. Caulfield. He'll send that ahead for Suzuki. Time running out for the Maple Leafs. Here comes Suzuki down low. Looking to the net from behind out front. It's given away to Morgan Rielly. Here's Carlo. He has Tavares ahead. John Tavares steps in and shoots. He's easily stopped by Montembeault as there's no traffic. He sees it all the way and holds on for Montreal. 8 gone here in the third period. The Canadiens with the 1-0 edge. It came late the second. Joshua Waugh with the goal. Face-off taken, one back. Leafs have it. Tanev fires. Block, got it back. A backhand to forehand, and that is right to the chest of Montembeault. Will hold on once again. Maple Leafs losing their last home game 2-0. Currently, it's in the same level as they do not have a goal through 40 minutes in back-to-back home games. Here's Tanev, winds, shoots, that's blocked. Loose in front, Tanev tries to keep it in, he will. Here's Tanev from low, he's stopped easily. Armia to Newhook, other way come the Canadiens trying to put this to bed. Newhook stopped by Wall, in behind the net it goes. Avs trying to get that free, it's Toronto who does though, and it's Tavares up ice for the Leafs. John Tavares looks for reinforcements. Järnkrok stopped. Came right down the middle. And a good save made by the Montreal netminder once again. Armia in over the Toronto line, trying to go to the net with it. Domi takes that back. He'll send it off for Nylander. Nylander shooting it. Easy save made. Was looking for the rebound. Tanev. Here's Ekman Larsson. Spins and fires. That broke a stick. It was one of the Leaf sticks, so that doesn't help them out. Gallagher to Evans. 5.5 to go in regulation time. Here goes Tavares stepping in. John Tavares shooting it. Save, it's in the paint. They whack away. And it's off the side of the net. In behind. Tavares fed it. And Michelli shot it wide. Here's Anderson. Kept in by Nylander. Pinning it there was Michelli. He had Nylander with him. Here's Gallagher out to center. Evans. Under 3 to play. Nylander with Ekman Larsson. Getting some help in there for the Leafs. Michelli grabs the puck for Nylander. Here's Ekman Larsson into the rush. Oliver Ekman Larsson couldn't keep it in. Here comes Evans. Carlo pokes that out. Matthew Nyes. It's a breakaway. Nyes scores! Matthew Nyes ties it up in the final minute at 1. So the Leafs tie it up. Matthew Nyes with goal number 3 on the season. And it's a 1-1 game here in the final minute. Talk about clutch. Draw 1 picked up. The Leafs were about to go 2 straight home games with shutouts against. Here's Waugh sending it up for Nyes. He gave that away to Xhekaj, and here come the Canadiens the other way. Looking to grab it back late. Xhekaj in front. They score! With 17.8 seconds left. They do get it back. And it's the captain, Nick Suzuki, who puts Montreal back in front here in the dying seconds of the third period tonight. What a goal for the Canadiens. The Leafs just caught in their end here. Just standing around instead of going after the man who has the puck. Left the lane wide open And the Canadiens restore the lead here in the final minute of the third. A silencer here tonight from Toronto. The Leaf fans can't believe it. Here's the face-off. Taken one back by the Leafs. Pass finds Waugh. Time's running for Toronto. Pass in front. What a save made by Montembeault. Seconds running down here from Toronto. It comes out. 5 seconds. That will do it. 2-on-1. Save and the rebound wide. And the Canadiens come away with the victory here tonight after a huge save late by Montembeault on the attempt by Lawton. Canadiens hold on 2-1. They beat the Leafs in regulation. The Leafs fall to 3-3 on the season. The Canadiens improve to 6-1-1. Your final score tonight from Scotiabank Arena, it's the Montreal Canadiens 2 and the Toronto Maple Leafs 1. Coming up now, the Toronto Marlies taking on the Syracuse Crunch for their second of 4 meetings on this season. Toronto taking the first one back in Syracuse the other night, 1-0. We'll see you there now.